ever found yourself in a conversation? Maybe someone asks what you do for fun and your mind just kind of goes blank, even though you actually have hobbies.
Happens all the time.
Right. So today we're driving deep into mastering the art of talking about your passions, in English.
Yeah.
Think of this as a shortcut to feeling more confident and, connecting with people over things you already enjoy.
That's exactly it. And the goal of this deep dive isn't just handing you a list of phrases. It's more about the strategy behind talking about your interests.
Okay.
We're going to pull out the most natural, the easiest to use sentences, basically the stuff that works. So you get practical knowledge that, feels comfortable in a real chat, not like you're reciting something.
And not feeling like you're pulling teeth. Exactly. So our mission today, unpack simple, powerful ways to say what you love doing, how often, why you love it, and really importantly, how to ask other people about their interests too. Just making those conversations, more engaging, more personal. Okay, let's unpack this. So first things first, why hobbies? Why are they such a good topic for conversation anyway?
Well, it's a great question.
I mean, they're personal, right? You know what you like, and talking about them, it just helps you connect. Plus, it's usually fun to talk about fun things.
It is. And what's really insightful here, I think, is that knowing how to talk about something personal, like a hobby, that goes beyond just basic language skills.
How so?
It's really a fundamental step towards authentic communication. It's not just swapping facts. It's about building real rapport.
Right. Finding common ground.
Exactly. Creating that shared understanding. It's kind of a low-stakes way to open the door to connection,
Yeah.
High reward for relatively little risk.
Could agree more. So, okay, how do we start? Let's look at the real basic phrases. The simplest ways, I think, are I like to or I like being.
The classics.
Yeah. And they're both totally natural. Often you can swap them. Like you could say, I like to read, or
I like reading.
Yep, I like to listen to music, or
I like listening to music.
I like to play soccer, or I like playing soccer. I like to paint, or I like painting. These are like your absolute foundation.
And the beauty of these is just how efficient they are in conversation. Super simple to remember, easy to use, even if you're feeling a little, on the spot.
Yeah, takes the pressure off.
Right. It cuts down that mental effort so you can actually focus on the person, not just the grammar. Gets you straight to the point.
Totally. And then to sound maybe even more natural, you can add a few others like, it's my hobby. Simple as that.
Right. Reading is my hobby.
Or playing guitar is my hobby. Another really good one is I enjoy it. So you can say, I enjoy gardening. It's relaxing. Or if you want to add a bit more punch, I really enjoy hiking in the mountains.
That really does add something, doesn't it? Shows genuine enthusiasm.
It does. Makes it clear. And maybe slightly more structured, but still useful. Photography is something I enjoy.
That's a nice one too.
And actually, there's maybe a tiny difference sometimes. Like, I like reading feels general, but I like to read can sometimes suggest it's more of a habit, part of your routine.
Oh, interesting nuance.
Yeah, subtle, but maybe worth noticing. Both are totally fine, though. Okay, so you've said what your hobby is. How do you add a little more detail without making it super complicated?
Yeah, the next layer.
The trick is just simple words for like what kind or where you do it, or maybe who you do it with.
Right, flesh it out a bit.
So instead of just, I like reading, maybe I like reading mystery books at home.
Paints a clearer picture.
Exactly. Or I like listening to pop music on the bus. Specifying who. I like playing basketball with my friends, or the type. I like watching science fiction movies. Or even adding when. I like cooking Italian food on Sundays. These little bits, they just make it much more relatable, don't they?
Absolutely. And this is really where you move from just sort of stating a fact to actually inviting more conversation.
Good point.
Because those small details, they give just enough extra information to make it richer, more vivid, but without, making the sentence really complex. It's that precision with simplicity again.
Yeah.
Gives the other person something specific they can latch onto and ask about.
That's so true. And building on that, adding how often you do your hobby, that gives great detail too. And it makes you sound more fluent, more natural.
Definitely. It adds context.
So you've got your basic frequency words.
Oh, sure.
Sometimes, often, usually every day, on weekends.
Once a week, twice a month.
Before bed, in my free time. Lots of options. So you could say things like, I usually read before bed. Or I play video games with my brother on weekends.
Sounds very natural.
Right. Or for something regular, I go for a walk almost every day. If it's less frequent, I sometimes bake cakes, or I often listen to podcasts while I cook. It just adds that texture to your life.
It really does. Using frequency, it just adds this layer of authenticity. It gives the listener a real feel for your routine, how this hobby actually fits into your life. It makes it sound more fluent, more real. It shows the rhythm of it,
Yeah.
Not just what you do, but how it's part of your world.
Absolutely. Okay, next up, the why. This is crucial, I think, because this is where you really let your personality show a bit.
Right. The motivation.
And you can use really simple ways to say why, like just using because, or it's something, or I feel something.
Keep it simple.
Totally. For example, I like yoga because it's relaxing. Or you can even use 2 short sentences. They work great. Running is fun. It helps me stay healthy.
Nice, clear and effective.
Or I enjoy drawing. It's creative. And if you want to express a feeling, playing chess is interesting. I feel smart.
Yeah, that's great.
Another one, I like taking photos because I can capture beautiful moments. Simple reasons, but they say a lot.
They really do. And explaining the why isn't just about sharing info, is it? It's like you're offering a little window into your values, your passions.
What makes you tick?
Exactly. Your personality. It instantly makes you more relatable. It turns a plain statement into, well, an invitation for real connection. Shows the feeling behind it, which is always more engaging.
For sure. But okay, conversation isn't just about talking about yourself, right? It's a two-way street.
Absolutely key.
So once you've shared, you need to ask about them. What are the easy questions to get that ball rolling?
Well, the most straightforward are probably, what do you like to do in your free time?
Yep.
What are your hobbies? Or even simpler, do you have any hobbies?
Can't go wrong with those. And then when they answer, showing you're actually interested is super important.
Active listening.
Simple replies work wonders. That sounds fun. Or, oh, interesting. Even just cool.
Yeah, shows you're tracking.
And a great follow-up is always, how often do you do that?
Yeah.
I actually remember someone told me once they were into competitive dog grooming,
Wow, okay.
right? I was like, really? Asking how often?
Oh.
What's that like? Just opened up this whole fascinating chat I never expected.
See? That's perfect. Those simple questions, those little responses, they're your toolkit for listening actively.
Right.
They don't just keep the chat going, they show you genuinely care, and that encourages the other person to share more. It builds that back and forth, that reciprocal feeling where everyone feels heard. That's how you get a deeper connection.
Okay, one more thing that might help just for like generating ideas is maybe thinking about hobbies in categories. Like a really simple one is indoor versus outdoor.
Yeah, that can be a useful mental sort.
So indoor hobbies, painting, cooking, maybe playing video games, playing guitar, stuff you do inside.
Cozy stuff.
And then outdoor hobbies, things like hiking, playing cricket, jogging, traveling. Get the idea.
Things you do under the sky.
Yeah. It's just a quick way to jog your memory, maybe. Like, what do I do when it's raining versus what do I do when it's nice out?
It can definitely be a helpful way to organize your thoughts, to quickly recall what you actually do. But it's important to remember, I think, that the core language patterns we've talked about.
The I like to, I enjoy.
Exactly. And the why and how often, those apply to any hobby, right? Doesn't matter if it's indoors or outdoors. The way you talk about it is pretty universal.
Good point. So let's kind of wrap up this deep dive. The main takeaway, keep it simple. The simplicity of these sentences is really your best friend here.
Don't overcomplicate.
Don't overthink it. And remember, loads of common things count as hobbies. Watching TV, listening to music, even just chatting online with friends. They all count.
Absolutely.
The important thing is just to start talking. Use these phrases, these structures we went through. It's all about building that confidence, one simple sentence at a time.
Right. And maybe my final thought for you to mull over is this. Think beyond just what your hobbies are. Consider how talking about them, even in these simple ways, can actually open unexpected doors. Like, how could sharing one small detail about your weekend lead to understanding someone better? Or maybe finding a new activity to do together? Or even, surprisingly, learning something new about yourself.
That's a great way to think about it.
It's more than just making small talk. It's potentially unlocking real connection and maybe even a bit of self-discovery.
Love that. So you absolutely can do this. Now go out there, give it a try, and put these ideas into practice.
Enjoyed the video? Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Subscribe for more English learning videos. See you in the next lesson.